Crystal ball short description for video. A chilling tale of a cursed mirror that reveals more than just reflections. What lurks behind the glass may not be human. A teenager buys an old mirror at a flea market, only to discover it drips blood at midnight. The mirror reflects a different, darker version of the room where something is moving. Anyone who looks into it too long sees their own death. The mirror once belonged to a victim of a brutal murder, and her spirit is still trapped inside. Breaking the mirror only makes things worse. Now the evil is free. At a dusty flea market on the edge of town, a teenager stumbled upon an antique mirror with a cracked wooden frame and glass that seemed darker than it should be. The vendor, eager to get rid of it, sold it for almost nothing. That night, as the clock struck midnight, the mirror began to drip thick, crimson liquid that pooled on the floor. At first, the teen thought it was a trick of the eyes, but the smell of iron filled the air. The reflection showed not their room but a blood-soaked figure staring back, smiling. The mirror didn't just reflect the bedroom, it revealed another version of it, darker and twisted. In the reflection, the furniture was broken, the walls smeared with streaks of red, and shadows writhed like they were alive. At first, the teenager thought it was a strange optical illusion, but then something moved. A figure stepped into view from the corner of the reflected room, tall and faceless, its hands leaving bloody smears on the glass as it pressed closer. Yet when the teen turned around, the real room was empty. Only in the mirror did the figure remain, waiting. The teenager soon realized the mirror wasn't just showing strange reflections, it was showing futures. Every time they stared too long, their image would begin to change. At first, small details appeared: pale skin, sunken eyes, bruises on the neck. Then the visions grew clearer, revealing their own lifeless bodies sprawled across the floor, drenched in blood. Terrified, they tried to look away, but the mirror seemed to hold them, forcing their gaze into its dreadful prophecy. The reflection whispered in a voice that wasn't theirs, describing in detail how and when they would die, and it was soon. Digging into the mirror's history, the teenager discovered it once belonged to a young woman brutally murdered in her own home. Locals whispered that her blood had stained the mirror forever, binding her soul inside it. That night, the teen awoke to soft sobbing coming from the glass. In the reflection, the woman appeared, her face pale, her dress torn, her eyes hollow with grief. But sorrow quickly turned to rage. She clawed at the inside of the mirror, leaving streaks of blood, her mouth opening wider than humanly possible as she screamed for freedom, rattling the glass violently. Panicked and desperate, the teenager grabbed a hammer and smashed the mirror into pieces, thinking the nightmare would end. Instead, the room fell silent, unnaturally so. The shards scattered across the floor still reflected the woman's twisted image, but now she was no longer trapped. A cold wind swept through the house, and the lights flickered before dying out completely. From the darkness came footsteps, slow, deliberate, echoing far louder than they should. The broken glass began to vibrate, each shard humming with her voice. She was free now, no longer bound to the mirror, but to the living.